This recording is part of our open mic series of 5-minute talks that take place at the end of our inspiration sessions. Our speaker is Shamsa Kiwanuka, who is part of our NewGen program here at Elevate. Shamsa says that possibility is her greatest asset. Her strength is seeing what could be rather than what already exists. This talk is about what happens when you say yes to opportunity. The presentation referred to in this session can be downloaded from the show notes. Introducing Shamsa is fellow NewGenner T. Balogun. This podcast was recorded at White Rabbit Studios in Shoreditch with a live audience.
Hello everyone, my name is T. I think some of you may remember me from the last Elevate session. I will keep this super short, and I think we've had a lot of conversations about being creative and having many hats and learning through lots of different options. I would be very delighted to introduce our final speaker, Shamsa Kiwanuka, a part of the Elevate NewGen program like I am, but also a creative producer who works across music, theatre and live events. She was selected for Amplify H.E.R, the healing, empowerment and, I don't know how to pronounce her, resilience. I'm dyslexic, I don't know how to pronounce that. You know, you get those moments. It's late. It's been a long week. Anyway, a 6-month creative development program which provides 6 young black women with the mentoring and networking opportunities at the earliest stage of their creative career. And honestly, I think I didn't know much about NewGens when I started, especially about Elevate, and hearing more and more about the things that we do for us young people, I think is one of the most amazing things. She is also a freelancer in events at the Fire Camp, an art development and content creation platform to amplify the positive sounds of the young generation. And as if all of that wasn't enough, she is also studying French and linguistics at Queen Mary's University of London. She is an amazing woman, and that doesn't just say that on here. I've spoken to her, and it's been amazing. Please welcome her to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to grab this. Good evening, everyone. My name is Shamsa Kiwanuka, and I want to thank you, Pete, and Elevate NewGen as a whole for giving me this opportunity to speak about my experience in Cannes and reflect with you all. The week shaped me in a way that I am still trying to process. So, a bit of an introduction to me. So yeah, my attendance in Cannes is thanks to Amplify, Milk Honey Bees, Our Peoples. I went with a group of fantastic young black women led by Ebenita Yere, and we've had the introduction, so we'll just swiftly move on. But I did discover Elevate NewGen a few weeks before Cannes, and I just want to say that programs such as these are very important, and I would encourage you all to stay with it and just soak up as much as you can. So I'm really grateful to be here. So I will take you on a journey about the beginning, and I just set some goals and intentions, and I think that's very important. I want people to remember me as a warm person to speak to who isn't afraid to be herself, and someone who asks good questions. I love to ask questions, and yeah, one fear that I'm leaving behind is that I shouldn't be there. So my purpose in Cannes for myself, I want to enjoy myself. Shamsa, remember to have fun. You are in Cannes. Collectively, I want to be a supportive and considerate member of this team, uplift and advocate for my cohort and organizations that brought me here. I just want to say that is not how my wrist should have looked like. There was 10 wristbands, but I just couldn't do it by day 3, and I just kept it in my bag. And remotely online, when people see on LinkedIn, I want for others to be inspired and encouraged when they see who is breaking into these spaces. So essentially the week in less than 60 seconds, from vivid activations, panel talks to the itinerary, I took inspiration and started to think about creativity differently. I wasn't someone who was like, oh my gosh, that 5-year-old is making a amazing art piece. We grow up thinking that creativity is just something you're born with. I'm not a Michael Jackson, so I can't do music, or I'm not a Vincent van Gogh, so I can't be an artist, but that's not necessarily the case. I saw brands have evaluated and individuals have refined the skills of creativity, and I learned that I can refine my creativity through investment, so attending programs such as this, practice, and being open-minded. And I was surprised by how friendly people were. It is a prestigious event, and I thought that people would be, yeah, you fill in that word. But generally, people were happy to talk about their day and just exchange connection and just talk to each other, really. I can't talk about my attendance at Cannes without mentioning the fact that I'm a young black woman. I'm 21, for those who are wondering. And being a young black woman in Cannes surfaced varying feelings. I knew that I was not going just to Shamsa, but representing the possibility of other people like me attending. And I never realized the power and need to see senior black women in these sectors. And it's only when I saw my name on the pass, which cemented the reality of that I'm there. And even if you don't look like me or we don't come from the same background, I'm just going to say, don't believe in imposter syndrome. That doesn't exist. And yeah, just in terms of creativity and culture was another buzzword that I heard a lot at Cannes. And essentially, I visited the Pinterest patisseries, so that's actually a dessert. Inside was nice, it was like a lemon sorbet, but outside not really. But essentially, it was one of Amplify's projects, and we answered a set of trend-based questions, which then curated a dessert based on your preferences. Not only was this refreshing, but this shows how creativity can stay true to the brand whilst tapping into the culture, because Pinterest noticed that there was a significant increase in food-related searches. And of course, as we know, food brings people together in many different cultures and traditions. So I thought that was just very creative. Portfolio career, we've all heard of it, and if you haven't, it's essentially the fact that, as mentioned, there isn't necessarily a linear career progression. You can, divert into different disciplines and essentially not limit yourself. And I realized that senior leaders and C-suite executives have lived many lives before the title that appeared on their gold pass. They have networked, delved in, tried, accomplished, doubted, failed, and succeeded. So essentially, don't limit yourself. You are a multifaceted human. You have skills and lived experiences that no one else in this room has. And essentially, you can use that to your advantage. I'm speaking especially to the entry-level professionals. Thank you so much for listening. Possibility is my greatest asset. The fact that 6 months, when I signed up to that program, I didn't know we were going to Cannes, essentially. But yeah, so during this presentation, I don't know if you've noticed, I just put some affirmative statements, and I'd encourage you to make your own. After I made this, I thought I should have done I can. That would have been fun, but anyway. So I am going to Cannes. I am saying yes to opportunity. I am representing and inspiring. I am overwhelmed and excited. I am creative because I am. I am meant to be here. I am unlimited. Thank you.
Elevate operates thanks to the generosity of our global headline partners, Amplify, Seed, and Wonder. Our global partners are Cvent, Identity, First, Illusion, Inconf, Powwow, PSP, and the production department. Our partners are the ASEMBL Group, CastleBell, Curious Nation, and Jimmy Garcia Catering. Our venue partner is White Rabbit Studios, our training partner is Special Source Training, and our people and culture partners are Zoe Tuffs from Times 10 Coaching and Nic Neal. Together we're changing lives, careers, and the events industry for the better. Our sound engineer is
me, Matteo Magariello.
And our producer is me, Peter Kerwood. This podcast was recorded at White Rabbit Studios in Shoreditch.